How's it going, you big beautiful bastards? Welcome back to another NFL career sim. Today we have the guy who is probably the most popular man in sports right now, in my opinion. He is a former WWE announcer and superstar. What? He is one of the most electrifying voices in sports. What? And he runs probably the most popular sports podcast in the world. What? That what's that shit was probably cringy as hell. But shout out Pat McAfee. That is who we are doing today. When I was telling you guys this one's going to be a little weird, is I really don't know what we're going to watch in this one. We're going to watch some punts, but like, I don't know when I'm going to jump in. I don't know what points I'm going to jump in at. It's Pat McAfee though. I feel like it's a required thing to do. Someone recommended it a while ago, and I've just been waiting for a moment to do it where I needed like a video, because it is currently Saturday morning. It is 9:30. In about 2.5 hours I have to head to Cleveland for a Cavs-Lakers game, which is, I'm so excited. I'm a Lakers fan. I'm not like a huge basketball fan, but I am a Lakers fan because of Kobe. So I get to go see my team. I get to see Baron. I get to see AD. I'm excited to see Austin Reeves, just because last playoff season, I don't know what it was, there was a one game Reeves just balled out, and I fell in love with Austin Reeves. On top of that, too, with the Cavs, I get to see players like Darius Garland and everything. We're going to be at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. That's what it is. So it's going to be a fun night. I got to make it back tomorrow morning in time for the Steelers game. I got to see how Kenny Pickett does without Matt Canada. We can really find out if Kenny is going to be the guy, or if Kenny is, he might be bad, dude. At this point, I'm thinking Kenny Pickett might be bad. As you can see here, though, he is an 84 overall punter. I boosted the hell out of him because obviously it's Pat McAfee. He's a projected 6th round pick. He's projected an early 6th round pick, which you'd expect from a punter, but we'll jump into the draft. We'll see if he gets drafted. I'm just going to go right to the 6th round. And there's one pick left to pick Pat McAfee, and it wasn't him. It was Andre Carter. So now we go to the regular season and hope someone signs him in the offseason. We'll see what happens here. All right, so someone must have signed him because he's not in there. So we'll take a look at punters real quick and see where he's at. The Arizona Cardinals rookie superstar Pat McAfee is an 84 overall in Arizona. All right, I'm here. I guess we go with Kyler. I actually wonder if this team sticks with Kyler. In real life, Kyler's actually been cooking since he came back from his ACL injury. Kind of happy to see. I do enjoy Kyler Murray. I think he's fun to watch is all I can say. I don't want to say I think he's a good quarterback because like he's questionable at times, but like he's so fun to watch. We'll just take a look at what players are big names on this team. Kyler, Marquise Brown is still here. Rondale Moore, J.K. Dobbins is here now. They still have Trey McBride, Paris Johnson Jr. Defensively, we really don't have anybody here. They got Devin White, Budda Baker is still here. Jordan Thompson, is that what his name is? Jalen Thompson. Who's Jordan Thompson? That name sounds like, that just sounds right. And then on our special teams here, you have Pat McAfee, who's an 84 overall. He is also the place kicker. I don't know why they don't put him at regular kicker because, what is this, Jake Delmas? Jonah Delmas. Okay, what a name. He's a 68 overall, but that's your kicker. I just put Pat McAfee in at that too because he was a place kicker at one point. So we'll sim through the rookie year of Pat's career. This, like I said, this one's going to be weird. We're going to be looking at like punt yards and overall punt yards, punts inside the 20, like just different stats we never looked at, which is just, it's kind of weird, but I love this. It's a great idea. I love Pat McAfee. Dude is one of the biggest names in sports. College Game Day was in James Madison the other day, and he cut an entire promo on the NCAA, which is wild, but the NCAA is a shit organization, so you gotta respect it. JMU was 10-0 and they were denied a bowl game, which I don't think they should have been, but then they lost that game, so like it just kind of proved the NCAA's point, I guess. At the end of the day, I just accidentally jumped in as Kyler. I didn't mean to do that. I might have to wait and see if he leaves. That'll be my best bet here. We'll take a look at the standings. We'll go, what are we, the NFC West? They ended up going 5-12. They fired Rich Gannon. Understandable. This team's not great. We'll go take a look here at Pat's stats, our punting stats. Kyler, in fact, did not cook. 20 touchdowns and 15 picks. We'll go, that's punt return. Punting. Pat McAfee ended up punting 53 times in the season for 2,790 yards. A 52.5 yard average punt. That is wild. 15 of those 53 punts were inside the 20. 17 of them were touchbacks. A 68 yard punt was his longest punt. What is the longest punt in NFL history? 98 yards in 1969. All right, I don't think Pat's getting that, but he can get close. How do you kick the ball 98 yards? The ball hit at the 33-yard line and rolled all the way to the 1. That is fucking impressive. So just like that, we sim on to next season. We'll see what happens here. If Kyler leaves this team, I'm gonna end up retiring him. So I think I've decided how we're gonna decide to jump in. If they make a championship game or something, we are gonna jump in and we'll go to like the end of the game and watch Pat's punts at the end of the game. Other than that, I really just I don't know where to jump in these. That's if they make the playoffs. He's on Arizona, so like the odds of them making the playoffs are slim to none. So yeah, with me being on Kyler, I can't really adjust anything else. So I'm debating retiring Kyler and letting Bo Nix go as the starter of this team. Sorry, Kyler. I'm sabotaging this team. I messed this up so bad. Why is there no way for me to switch to a coach? Eric Aguilar is the next coach. I did retire Kyler. I kind of sabotaged this team. It's messed up. If I could bring him out of retirement, I would, but I messed it up, and that's okay. We're not here for Kyler Murray. We're here for Pat McAfee. Oh, he's still... What is the point of me clicking the retire button if he's still here? That's fine. I'm okay with this. So I didn't really mess up anything. I just got to switch, and now, looking at our offense here, they got a new receiver too, who I don't know who this is. Michael Wilson. I honestly don't know who that is, but he's a real NFL player because he's got an actual pitcher. But they still have Hollywood Brown. They still have J.K. Dobbins. Is this Travion Henderson behind him? Yep. Speaking of that, Travion Henderson is going to be playing Michigan today, which I'm a little worried about. As an Ohio State fan, I'm a little scared. Not gonna lie. Michigan has shit on us 2 years in a row now. But Kyler is still here. He's got Bo Nix behind him. So maybe quarterback of the future there. We go look at the defense, and they're still pretty bad. The corners aren't great. The only shining spot on this defense are the safeties. They changed up the defensive scheme because now instead of running a 4-3, they're running a 3-4. Our special teamers are empty. Excuse me? Okay, so Pat's not a free agent, but he's not in Arizona. Okay. Is this how this is going to go? Because he was an undrafted free agent, he's going to get like 1-year deals and just hop teams like this until he wins a Super Bowl? I'm here for it. Let Pat McAfee win a Super Bowl. Cardinals don't even have a punter on their roster right now, yet they let Pat McAfee go. Pat McAfee is now a Washington Commander. Okay, maybe we're not winning a Super Bowl, but we're a Washington Commander now. I'm here for this. We're going to play for every NFL team. This is going to be great. So they ended up firing Ron Rivera, probably like what's going to happen in real life coming up here soon, and Patrick Bailey is now the head coach of this team. Ron Rivera probably doesn't have much longer left as an NFL head coach, and not to like disrespect him because he was great at one point. So we go in here and we look at this team, and we are in a much better situation here offensively with Sam Howell, who's currently leading the league in passing yards going into last week. Brian Robinson is here with Kenneth Gainwell behind him, so that's a big pickup. You still got Scary Terry, you got Jahan Dotson. They have Michael Thomas now, Laviska Shenault, a receiver 4. Mike Gesicki is also here. I was going to make a joke about grittying, but like Gesicki's gritty is disgusting. And then even defensively, this team's a little better. I can't say the middle linebackers are that great. Davis being here isn't bad. It's Jamin Davis. I honestly, some of these names, like I can't ever remember the last names and everything stick with me, but not anything else. So they still don't have Chase Young, but they still have Jonathan Allen. They lost Montez Sweat as well in the game, so I don't know if that's because they made the trades and I use my active roster so the trades are set through, or if they just naturally lost them, which is very possible as well. Special teams here, we have Pat all the way up to an 86. Delmas followed him here. So just like that, we sim through the sophomore season of Pat McAfee's career. There's not a best punter award, so I can't even look at awards or anything. I think there should be. Okay, we went 11-6, and Pat McAfee is in the playoffs. We'll go take a look at what his stats are looking like from his sophomore season. Sam Howell didn't have the best season, but he did better than Kyler did last year. Punting, he had to punt a little less this year. He had 48 punts for 2,500 yards. He had 12 inside the 20 and 16 touchbacks, a 75-yard long, so he's getting that up there. We're getting closer to that 98-yard punt. I want to take a look real quick at his contract, see if he is only here for a year or what the deal is. 4-year deal here. Okay, he's set to make $4 million a year over the next 3 years. It's wild. He's probably making more than that doing podcasting, but he came back for another run at a career in the NFL because he wants a ring. So we'll advance to the divisional round. We'll see what happens here. See if the Commanders can get through Philly, and they can't. All right, so now we go on to year 3. So this is always a team that progresses well, as they did lose Sam Howell, which isn't good. The Commanders always seem to progress well, though, in these sims. So now we have Gardner Minshew backed up by Zach Wilson here as we lost Sam Howell. Brian Robinson is still here, so is Kenneth Gainwell, along with Scary Terry, Jahan Dotson, and Michael Thomas. The only difference is we lost Laviska Shenault, now have Tutu Atwell. There is Mike Gesicki still rocking here at starting tight end. We'll go look at the defense here. Jonathan Allen is still here. The ends are still the same. And now Pat McAfee is doing everything for this team. He's the kicker, he's the punter, and he's the place kicker. This is going to be unprecedented stuff. So we got to look at two different stat categories following this season. I do want to say while we sim through this season, I want to take a moment and say thank you to everyone. The channel hit 900 subscribers like a week ago, and it's already up over 920, which is absolutely insane to me. Just how quickly this has grown and kind of like grown this little community and everything. Even my friends were talking about it last night, how there's some guys that are here at every video commenting, asking questions, and it's very heartwarming and it's a great feeling. So just thank you everyone for that. It means everything to me. And if you guys feel like it, feel free to take a moment to leave a like and subscribe. Try and upload 2 sims a week. I'm trying to start getting into Ultimate Team content as we miss the playoffs and go 6-11 this season. The regression from losing Sam Howell shows as they had the 29th ranked passing offense in the league. Gardner Minshew is not Sam Howell. Gardner ended up throwing 3,200 yards, basically 24 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Pretty similar numbers to Sam Howell last season, but it wasn't good enough for the same record. Punting, Pat had to punt a lot more this season. 56 punts, 2,951 yards, a 52.7 yard average, a 74 yard long, 1 yard shorter than it was last season. We'll take a look at kicking, where they did end up signing a kicker. Pat didn't have to kick a field goal. That sucks. I was really hoping. But they signed Riley Patterson, who had 19 for 23. He had 2 field goals blocked. He had a 56 yard long. I think Pat could break the NFL record if they just put him at field goal kicker, but they're not going to do that. So now we go on to year 4. Pat's got 2 years left in Washington before he could possibly leave again. And now Zach Wilson's the starter. Oh, we're so screwed. They went with the younger arm, though, over Gardner Minshew. I got to respect it, but I don't know if Zach Wilson's the answer at quarterback here. Brian Robinson is still here running back. We lost Kenneth Gainwell. There's Scary Terry, Jahan Dotson, and Michael Thomas. Mike Gesicki is also still here as the offense has remained the same. Jonathan Allen has regressed a little bit. He lost his X factor. We now have Ramsey here and Jackson at the other end. Jamin Davis is still around. The secondary is still the exact same. It has not changed. We take a look at special teams, where Pat McAfee is a 91 overall X Factor punter. We're going into his 4th season. He is more of an accurate punter than a power punter, but he gets 75 plus yard punts. So like he's a little bit of both. We'll sim to the playoffs here in year 4. This is looking like a career that wants to send Pat McAfee into podcasting and everything early, which I respect because this man belongs there. He is so good at it. He was a great punter. He had the ability to lay out returners. It was pretty sick, and he also had some pretty cool fakes over the years. And just like it's awesome to see where he's gone from football, to see like from the WWE commentating. Like I'm a wrestling fan, so like I've watched Pat McAfee's matches. There's the one against Adam Cole. There's one against Austin Theory, which the Austin Theory one, he ended up getting pinned by Vince McMahon post-match, which that blows my mind that Vince came out and did that. The one that really sticks out is Adam Cole because of the blow-up Adam had on his show, which to this day, I still wonder if it's a kayfabe thing or if it's like, if that was real, because Adam Cole exploded on his show. All right, we're creating a coach, by the way, because there's no coach hired for this team, so we have to make one. And it's not Chris Dale. It's actually gonna be AJ Hawk. The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers is now the head coach of the Washington Commanders. Not that he'd ever take that job in his life. I highly doubt he ever would. None of them have like longer hair. There you go. That's AJ Hawk right there. He looks like he's seen some shit in his life. No, he's only 6'1". Okay. I don't know why I thought AJ Hawk was bigger. As an Ohio State fan, love that guy. Love that man. AJ Hawk's a beautiful human being. What do we think? AJ Hawk, I think he's a long sleeve kind of guy. He'd be wearing the baggy clothes. Now let's see if AJ Hawk can lead this team to the promised land. They went 3-14. They are awful. Gardner ended up coming in over Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson didn't even play a snap this season. As you can see, he played 48 snaps, but he didn't throw a single pass. Gardner did, in fact, not cook. He is not doing too good punting here. Pat had to punt 66 times. Guys, we got to step it up here. That's pretty bad. He had over 3,500 punt yards with 3,623. He averaged 52 yards a punt, basically 16 inside the 20 touchbacks, a 74-yard long. Kicking, they brought in Joey Sly, so it wasn't Pat McAfee. You're really ruining my hopes and dreams here, man. I want to see this man as a place kicker, too. He is the highest overall on this team, by the way. So this is his last year under contract here. He's a 93 overall. We'll go take a look at what the rest of the team is looking like. See if maybe they tried to fix their quarterback position. They got Dak. Yeah, wow, okay, they fixed the quarterback position. We might be cooking this year. On top of getting Dak, Brian Robinson, Scary Terry, Jahan Dotson, and Mike Gesicki all stayed. They now have a rookie at receiver 3 and Fowler there. We go look at the defense here, where Jonathan Allen is regressing heavily. The rest of these guys haven't progressed very well. Emmanuel Forbes is now corner number 1 on this team as they lost Kendall Fuller. They lost Cam Curl. They have Jalen Reed, Justin Reed. Wow. Special teams here, we still have Pat McAfee at a 93. Yeah, just leave him at kicker this season. Let him kick a 70-yard field goal. Let him break that record. And now we sim through year 5. We'll see if this team can put it together. They got a much better quarterback. They went from a 71 Gardner Minshew to an 86 X-Factor Dak Prescott. We're here now. We're back in the playoffs. They're 10-7. They're playing the Detroit Lions in the first round. They still have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's a 99 overall. The Eagles won the division. The Giants, everybody other than the Cowboys went 10-7. Take a look here. Dak had the best quarterback season we've seen out of anybody. He threw 4 interceptions, 27 touchdowns, and 4,200 yards. I just want to look. Kicking, they brought Riley Patterson back, so there was no Pat McAfee field goals. That sucks. Punting, though, Pat probably had one of his worst seasons so far, and that's not due to that's not his fault. That's just because the team was actually good. 43 punts, 2,356 yards, 11 inside the 20, 15 touchbacks, and 72 was his long. He hasn't got past that 75 point he hit in his second year. He's kind of cooking for a punter. We'll sim the divisional round, see if Dak can get this team past. Dak did it, man. They're playing Atlanta in the divisional round. We'll sim past this, too, see if Dak is going to be the guy that can lead this team all the way, and they lost. Damn it. AJ Hawk got a contract extension, though. This man has come in and really turned the team around. He went over to Dallas and was like, hey, man, come on, Dak. You know you don't want to play for Jerry Jones anymore. As we go into year 6 of Pat McAfee's career, he could potentially be a free agent. He could have left this team. Last year was the last season on his contract, but the team finally did make the playoffs for him, and he is still here at a 94 overall. Take a look here, and he is now on a 3-year deal, set to make $4 million a season. Probably one of the higher paid punters in the league, I'd imagine. He has low overall interest to re-sign. I have that on high again, so if he decides to leave, that's why. Scary Terry is still here. The offense is basically the same, minus losing Brian Robinson. Never mind, he's just second string now to Ness here, who is, what's his first? Herb Ness. Defensively, we go over here. Jonathan Allen is gone, so the defense is looking like they're going to start to struggle a little bit. We do still have Derek Forrest and Emmanuel Forbes here, but this on the other side, we have Charles here at a 73. We have McCain at a 75. We'll see, though. AJ Hawk is the coach of this team, so I doubt he'd let his defense be bad. But as I said, Pat McAfee is a 94. They have him at place kicker again. He's obviously not going to kick a field goal. They're going to bring in some 70 overall kicker instead of letting this man try and cook. And so in year 6, they go 7-10. They miss the playoffs, so the team is not cooking. Defensively, they were terrible. The passing offense was great, one of the best in the league. AJ Hawk couldn't coach up a defense full of bums. That's just about what that comes down to. 4,300 yards for Dak, 36 touchdowns, and 6 picks. No passing stats for Pat McAfee, meaning they did not run a fake punt. It's frowned upon, but Pat had 48 punts for 2,500 yards, 11 inside the 20, and 15 touchbacks, and there is a 75-yard long once again. He hasn't been able to get past that 75-yard mark. It'd be really cool to see that jump up to an 80 or something, but it's probably not going to happen. They brought back Riley Patterson again. He only kicked 8 field goals this season, and he missed 3 of them, which that's actually terrible. 57-yard long, but 5 for 8. He was 52 for 52 on extra points, though. Just like that, we now move on to year 7. At this point, if they do make the playoffs, I might jump in a wild card round just so we can see Pat punt. We go in here, and Dak has started to regress. The running back position got worse as we have Allen here at starting. Now we lost Herb Ness. We lost Brian Robinson. Dak is down to an 84. Fowler's up to receiver 2 at an 84. Jahan Dotson is now receiver 1 as Scary Terry is gone. And Mike Gesicki's also finally gone as Arrington here now is the starting tight end. We'll take a look at the defense, see how AJ Hawk has tried to fix this in the offseason. He got Hightower here. Derek Forrest is still around at an 83. Emmanuel Forbes is an 86. At right end, we have a 77 overall rookie. Left end, we have Ramsey, who's an 82. Hightower is here at an 82. Jamin Davis is now middle linebacker, too, as he is still rocking with us. Special teams, we have Pat McAfee all the way up to a 96. He's about to hit 30 going into year 7, and they're not giving him the chance to be the kicker. They signed a 65 overall kicker when you have a 96 overall X-Factor punter who could probably kick a better field goal. And AJ Hawk couldn't turn the team around as AJ Hawk is now gone. Wow, I don't know what to do for this team. Pat's got to get out of here. Pat's got to go to, like, the Chiefs or something. Let's just win Pat a Super Bowl. That's my goal here. Sticking with our theme, we're bringing in Tone Diggs now as head coach. Not that I expect this to go any better with the way this team is, but we'll see if Diggs is the one that turns it around. None of these coaches have beards. Sorry, Diggs. You're getting, like, scruff. Apparently, NFL coaches just don't have beards. We're going to just leave him looking like that just for the meme of it because, honestly, I don't know how tall he is, and I doubt I can look that up like I could AJ Hawk. In Pat's 7th season, the team ended up going 5-12. Obviously, they missed the playoffs as AJ Hawk got fired, and it's pretty impossible to get into the playoffs going 5-12. Dak ended up throwing 3,800, almost 3,900 yards, 28 touchdowns, and 7 picks. We'll go take a look here at our punting stats as Pat had 44 punts for 2,327 yards. He had 11 punts inside the 20, 12 touchbacks. That means, what, 44, 11? That's like 25% of his punts. That's pretty good. 25% of his punts landed inside the 20. That's almost a 50-yard average, 49.6, a 75-yard long again. He's now done that 3 times. And just like that, we are already on to year 8 of Pat McAfee's career. This is getting to that point around the time he retired in real life. I can't think of how old he was when he retired in real life because I know he retired pretty young. Yeah, he retired at 29. So, like, we're past the point where he would have retired in real life. So Tone Diggs gets thrown into a pretty shitty situation here as we have lost Dak Prescott and now have Haynes a 70 overall at quarterback. Allen's up to a 76. Dotson's an 86. Fowler over there's an 85. They have Bush now a 75 overall rookie. Arrington's an 81. Defensively, I'm sure it didn't get much better. Rose has progressed and is now the starting left end. They now have Ivy here, and the defense is still not great. But special teams, don't worry. We have a 96 overall Pat McAfee, a punter. So we have the best punter in the league. That's at least something, right? And now he's into the playoffs here in year 8. I don't know how long punters usually play in Madden compared to other positions, so we'll see how much longer Pat goes for. And Tone Diggs lasted 1 season before he got fired. So now we move on to Ty. Ty Schmidt is going to be the new head coach. But at this point, this is where I'm going to have to stop recording for today. I got to go get ready to leave, and I'm going to have to finish this on Sunday when I get home and try and get it edited by Sunday night to upload. That is my goal. So I'll see you guys Sunday. For you guys, it'll be like 2 seconds. For me, it'll be a whole 30-something hours. We're back. I know it said it was like 2 seconds for you guys, but it's actually been like over 48 hours. It's actually Monday now after I just got out of work where I'm finishing recording this video. I planned on finishing it on Sunday and trying to get it edited and uploaded by that night, but things just didn't work out that way. I was exhausted when I got back from Cleveland, so I just sat down. I watched football. I missed the whole first half of the Steelers game. I made it back for the second half. The offense finally put up over 400 yards in the first game without Matt Canada, which is insane. But it's now Monday night. My goal is to try and get this edited by tonight. Hopefully, maybe get it up tonight, but probably not get it up until Tuesday. But this also finally gives me a valid reason to throw this upload schedule that I've been sticking to right out the window, because I've been planning on doing that just so that, like, I'm still going to stick to 2 videos a week, but instead of them being on Thursdays and Sundays, it's just going to be completely random. There's going to be just 2 videos out every week, guaranteed. But as we go into what I think is year 9 of Pat McAfee's career, Ty Schmidt, another member of his show, now comes in to be the head coach of the Commanders. We'll take a look at how they did this season, knowing Tone Diggs got fired after 1 season. They went 2-15. Genuinely the worst team in the league. I don't think we've ever had a 2-15 record in any of our sims. Kyle Haynes is not the quarterback of the future, basically. We'll take a look at punting. Pat had 50 punts for almost 2,700 yards, averaging around 50 yards a punt, only 9 inside the 20 and 14 touchbacks this season. He broke that 75-yard long, though, with a 76-yard punt. And just like that, we fast forward on to year 9, where the Commanders are wasting away their all-pro punter. I mean, I guess they're abusing their all-pro punter, basically. This man is just, he's got to punt the ball 50 times a year. I guess 50 punts a year really isn't, like, terrible, but some punters, I don't even think, in real life, you got to think, some punters probably don't even punt it 30 times in a season. By the way, that Cavs game was so fun, man. The Lakers ended up winning 111-106. AD dropped the quietest most 32 points I've ever seen. Like, we were all sitting there watching the game and didn't even realize AD had 32. So as we look at this team, we have another new quarterback in town now, as we have Feeney, a rookie, and a rookie center. So we got a new rookie duo coming in here. Allen at running back, Fowler at receiver 1, Jahan Dotson's down here at receiver 2. There is Arrington at tight end at 85. I think that might be new. I don't remember that part. Defensively, the team still doesn't look too hot, but again, a new rookie middle linebacker as the team is starting to draft a little better. Pat is a 96. That might be where he peaks. He might not hit that 99. They do have him at place kicker again, but you know he's not going to get to kick a field goal. Well, in year 9 for Pat, they end up missing the playoffs. Again, the 30th ranked total offense, 31st ranked total defense. This team is atrocious, but they have the best punter in the league, so don't worry about it. They went 4-13. Brady Feeney, the rookie, did come in. He's quarterback of the future. He had threw 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 10 picks. Not too bad. Punting, you had Pat. He punted 59 times. 3,200 punt yards. He had 12 inside the 20 and 18 touchbacks, a 74-yard long. This team's bad, man. There's no other way to put it other than they're bad. Pat now on his career has 467 punts, 25,000 punt yards, a 54-yard average, which is impressive, 110 punts inside the 20, 143 touchbacks, and a 76-yard long that he set last season. Just like that, we move on to year 10, where Pat McAfee is going to be a free agent after this season. He honestly could retire if he really wanted to and go off into his podcast, which he should do at this point. He'll make so much more money and do so much better for himself than being on this Commanders team. I just want to take a look and see if he is still here. Pat is up to a 97 and he is still here. Let's take a look at his contract real quick. He's back on a 1-year deal worth $4.3 million in year 10. He has low overall interest to re-sign. I don't know why he keeps coming back. He honestly should leave, but there is Feeney. He is a 78 overall. You can see Pat's a 68 overall quarterback. We might as well throw this man in at QB. You got Fowler here. There is Bush now at receiver 2. We lost Jahan Dotson. Arrington's up to an 86. So the rookies are progressing well, meaning we could improve a little bit this season. Middle linebackers are also progressing pretty well. So the team has improved. Emmanuel Forbes is gone. I think he was gone last season. But as we saw, 97 overall Pat McAfee here at punter, also at kicker, and at the place kicker. Obviously, he's not going to get to kick a field goal. It's just not going to happen. We'll send him to the playoffs. See if they can do better and maybe finally sneak into the playoffs. I just want to see one punt, man. I just need him to make the playoffs a single time. Ty Schmidt has come in and kind of turned this team around. He's got that 5th rated passing offense, 16th overall offense, 18th defense. They went 9-8, still missed the playoffs, but that is a little bit of improvement as Pat will be a free agent again following this season. Brady Feeney did cook with 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 7 INTs. We'll go take a look at punting, where Pat only had to punt 55 times this season. 2,900 punt yards, a 50-yard on the dot average, 1 blocked. Oh, he got blocked for the first time in his career. 12 punts inside the 20, 15 touchbacks, a 77-yard long. He keeps getting that up by 1 yard, which is crazy. A 77-yard punt is wild. He is a 97 overall, though, so, like, what do you expect? He now has 522 career punts, 27,000, almost 28,000 yards, a 53.6-yard average, which I think is exactly where it was before. There's the 1 block. He's got 122 punts inside the 20, 158 touchbacks, and there's a 77-yard long. So 122 inside the 20 means only 400 of his punts, which, like, that's a big number. But 122 out of 522 inside the 20 is pretty impressive out of a punter. Just like that, we'll sim on to year 11. This could potentially be the end of Pat. We may never actually get to see him kick a punt, but he is cooked. He's been one of the best punters in the league for 10 straight years now. He's still got a long way to go to get on the all-time punting yards list, by the way. The guy in 25th has 43,000 yards. Ray Guy, the only punter in the Hall of Fame, actually only has 44,000 yards. I figured Shane Leckler would have been in there by now, but Shane Leckler is second all-time, and that was 68,676 punt yards. As we take a look at special teams, Pat is no longer here. We'll go take a look at retirements and make sure he's not in there, because that's what I'm a little worried about. Maybe he went home to Indy. Let's just hope he went to a team that can actually cook and get him into the playoffs. We'll take a look here at the NFL. We'll go to punters. Pat McAfee is now the starting punter for the Dallas Cowboys at a 97 overall with a play. Okay, that's the release thing. I'm assuming that means he's on a 1-year deal. But just like that, we have to leave Ty Schmidt behind, and we'll go take over as whoever the coach is for the Dallas Cowboys. Braden Williamson, coach of the Dallas Cowboys. We'll take a look at what this team's roster rocking with. I did see Micah and CD are still here. As we know, Dak Prescott is gone, but we now have a Wiggum here who is a 95 overall. They have Hall at tight end. He's an 86. Moore here is a 90 at receiver 2 with a 96 CD Lamb starting. They have an 83 overall running back in Knox here. Defensively, hopefully they're still pretty good. There is Micah. They have a 92 overall corner in Charles. They have Bullock, Connor. So this team is pretty damn good. Can see here, Pat is a 97 overall, still the starting punter. We'll take a look at what his contract's looking like with this team. Like I said, I think it's only a 1-year deal. He's 33 years old in his 10th season. He is here on a 1-year deal worth $1.64 million. We will simulate through this season where I'm expecting they finally get, he finally gets to try and make a playoff run. So once again, though, I do want to apologize that this video was not up on time. I tried, man, and I was just, it was such a long trip to Cleveland and such a long weekend of driving. I basically drove 2 hours home to my parents, then came back to Pittsburgh on Friday and drove another 2 hours that day, and then the next morning had to wake up and drive 2.5 hours to Cleveland, and then wake up the next morning and drive 2.5 hours back. I was just exhausted, and I wanted to sit down and relax for a minute. So I apologize for that, but I'm trying here, guys. I'm working on it. Like I said, the upload schedule, I'm hoping to throw it out the window and have this video ready for tomorrow, which is Tuesday. Just like that, we are in the playoffs. One last hoorah. We'll see who this is for. I'm assuming it's for someone like Micah. I don't really see it being for anyone else. Oh, it's for CD. CD's a 96, and they're saying that? Okay, the team's amped for this. Let's go. We'll get this. They're winning the Super Bowl this year. I hate that it's with the Cowboys, but they're winning the Super Bowl this year. He finally, as a team, Wiggum threw 4,600 yards, 37 touchdowns, and 5 INTs. Punting, he only had to punt 51 times for 2,600 yards, 10 inside the 20, 13 touchbacks, a 74-yard long, so he is still cooking. He's still got that leg on him. Let's jump right into this then. We're gonna watch the wild card game just because I want to see him punt once. I need the Eagles defense to make a stop here. I want to punt. The Eagles defense is not making a stop. We end up scoring there, and the game's over. So they won. They won by 10. Pat didn't have to punt at the end of the game there. Wiggum threw 183 and no touchdowns. Jalen Hurts threw 338 and a touchdown. We're going to the divisional round for Pat. In the divisional round, they're going to be playing the Arizona Cardinals. As you can see there, Greg Morrison, a tight end, is their #1 player. We're actually going into Arizona here. Trevor Lawrence is now the starting quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals, as you can see there. So Goldilocks is here to try and end the career of Pat McAfee. I can't say end. He'll probably come back. He's a 97 overall. Defense can't make a stop. They let T-Law go right down the field, and there's no more opportunities to punt here. They are going to keep going for it, and there's a touchdown to make it a 5-point game. Defense couldn't stop them. The game's over. They end up losing in the divisional round 21-16. Poor Pat, man. Pat tried. Wiggum threw 244 and 2 touchdowns. T-Law threw 252 and 2 touchdowns. So Pat doesn't get to go on to a Super Bowl this year for Dallas. Neither does CeeDee Lamb, who might retire, along with Pat McAfee might retire. We'll go take a look at his career stats, though, before we go. Punting, we look. Pat has 573 punts, 30,613 punt yards, 1 block kick, 132 inside the 20, 171 touchbacks, and a 77-yard long. That is in 187 games. So that means he had a punt inside the 20 in almost majority of his games. And just like that, we sim on to what would be year 12 for Pat McAfee. We'll see if he sticks around for another year. He's going to be 34 going into this season, where he would have been 4 or 5 years removed from the NFL at this time. Go into the adjust lineup screen here. You can see the team is still the same. CD actually wasn't there, and Pat isn't here either. That's not a good sign, man. We might not get to see Pat punt. We'll go take a look here at our retirement, see if we lost Pat McAfee somewhere along the way. Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb both retire in the same season. Pat did not. Pat left again, though. So let's go see where Pat ended up again. He's just hopping around teams now. He's having fun. He is still the best punter in the league by a mile at a 97 overall, as he is now a Los Angeles Charger. Pat McAfee is now on to his 4th team. We take over as Ed Green, the head coach of the LA Chargers. We'll take a look here at what this team is rocking with. I don't imagine Jay Herbo's still here. He always seems to leave in Madden, but he could still be here. Let's see. And Jay Herbo is still here. He's an 88 overall with a 96 and a 93 X-Factor receiver, a 91 tight end, and an 84 overall running back. This team might cook. This might be what we needed for Pat. Hold on, that defense was not good, but the offense looks great. Pat is a 97 still. He is 34 years old. Take a look at his deal. I'd imagine it's another one-year deal that he could potentially leave again after this season. We'll go take a look, and it is a one-year deal worth $2.33 million. He's got low overall interest to be here in general, but he's got Jay Herbo now. That's all that matters. Jay Herbo's about to cook, even though the Chargers have absolutely failed this man for the past 4 seasons in real life. Oh, and this team cooked. They went 12-5, won the division. The Chiefs went 9-8. Man, Patrick Mahomes might have fallen off. Brock Purdy led the league in passing yards, by the way. I just saw Jay Herbo threw 3,800 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 7 picks. Punting, Pat only had to punt 44 times this season. This team did him a favor. He had 2,300 punt yards, a 52.5-yard average, 9 kicks inside the 20, 10 touchbacks, a 76-yard long. See, dude, he still got that leg, man. That leg is not failing him one bit. We take a look at his career stats. Now he's at 617 punts for almost 33,000 yards, a 53.4-yard average, 1 block kick, 141 inside the 20, and 181 touchbacks. We'll sim past the wild card round. Maybe Jay Herbo's the one to take him to a Super Bowl. As they are playing the Ravens here, they do move on to the divisional round. We'll watch this one, see if Lamar can take Jay Herbo out of this. This is a good opportunity here. The Ravens need to stop on this 3rd down, and now we can see Pat McAfee punt with a minute 55 to go in the game. You can see Pat lined up back there from the 30. See if he can pin this one deep. He is lining it up. Look at the boot on that one. Oh, he did get that all the way back there too. That was like 50 yards and a good tackle by the special teams. And now we have to see if the defense can stop Lamar. Oh God, they're letting him go right down the field. And he scores. And now our offense has 58 seconds to score. And Justin Herbert threw in, the game's over, and they're going home in the divisional round. Okay, that's a very classic Chargers way to end the game. Justin Herbert threw 225 and a touchdown. Lamar threw 241 and 3 touchdowns. And the Ravens move on to the AFC Championship game. And Justin Herbert, Pat McAfee, and the rest of the Chargers team go home to sit on their couch for the rest of the offseason. Pat is back in LA for year 13. He's 35 years old. He is a 98 overall now. He somehow just keeps getting better. His contract is another one-year deal worth $4.23 million. And now Herbert's gone. That's okay. Clemens has at least got superstar dev. They still have all of the weapons for him. Defensively, this team still isn't looking the best, but they're not bad at all. So they should be able to get back to the playoffs. I don't know, though, with the loss of Justin Herbert, how much that'll impact this team. And the loss of Justin Herbert actually killed this team. They go 6-11 despite the offensive weapons they have. Stats and stuff, we'll take a look at how Pat did. Dale Clements was not Justin Herbert, that's for sure. He put up similar numbers, actually. Pat ended up only punting 40 times for 2,079 yards. 13 of his 40 punts were inside the 20. He had more inside the 20 than touchbacks, and a 77-yard long once again. And we once again have a change at quarterback here in LA as we go take a look at the special teams, and Pat actually is not here going into year 15. So that's a good sign for him to not have to struggle in LA, but let's see if he retired. I don't see a Pat McAfee on the retirement list, so he still could be cooking. Let's go take a look at where he's at. He's probably still the highest rated punter in the league by a mile, so it doesn't really matter. And in year 14, Pat McAfee goes to the Arizona Cardinals on another one-year deal. So let's go watch him cook in Arizona. Last we knew had Trevor Lawrence. Maybe they still have him? Todd Walters is the head coach of this team. As we take over as him, we'll take a look at what this team is looking like, see if maybe this is a team that can get Pat to a Super Bowl, as he's on now, his 5th team, I think. And they don't have Trevor Lawrence. They have Goldstein here instead. They have Triplett here at running back, McLaughlin at receiver. They have Barksdale. They have Morrison. Defensively, this team is honestly got a lot of high overalls, but not a lot of good dev traits. So, that's a pretty good sign. He's a 96 overall. Delmas! Oh my God, Jonah Delmas is back. Pat had to get one last ride and hold Delmas's balls one last time. That's all it is. So now we sim through year 14 to the playoffs, see if the Arizona Cardinals can get him there. Well, they must have missed the playoffs because Todd Walters got fired. So now we're just going to go take over as some random auto-generated coach for the Cardinals, and we're going to see what happened. We'll see how many times Pat punted, because if he got fired, I'd imagine it was pretty bad. And so finally, we're going to get the return of Chris Dale. Chris Dale is coming to Arizona to save this team. They went 8-9. They honestly didn't do that bad. The offense was terrible, but the defense was really good. So, I don't know. I guess I could see why they're upset about it and fire the coach, but 3,500 2,400 yards, 20 touchdowns, and 10 picks for Goldstein. Not a great year for him. Pat was back to his 50-plus punts with 54 punts, 2,700 yards, a 51.3 yard average, 19 inside the 19 touchbacks, 8 inside the 20. Man, Pat, come on, what you doing? And he's going to be a free agent again, though, so he could go to his sixth team. Let's see what happens here. And Pat McAfee is no longer with the Arizona Cardinals, so now we'll go look at the retirement list. This man is really just running me through a roller coaster right now. I hope he's not here. Let's just keep running it up. Scroll down. Justin Herbert went to the Packers and retired, by the way. We'll scroll down. The Arizona Cardinals. Blake Fisher retired. No Pat McAfee. He's still around. Where'd he go? Yep, that's all I needed. He went to Indy. 94 overall punter. He is back in Indy. Oh, that's great. That was all I needed, man. That's the icing on the cake to really cement the fact that this is going exactly how I wanted it to. You know what's crazy is the amount of teams that start with a C he's been on. He's been on that one. He's been on that one. Hasn't been on that one. Now this one, this one, this one. He's been on every team that starts with a C except for the Chiefs. So we're still rocking with Shane Steichen. Let's take a look at what this team is looking like. There's no AR here, man. I was really thinking AR-15 was still going to be here. They got McGee at receiver. He's a 90. Vance here at quarterback is a 78. Craver at running back is an 87. Milner here is an 87. Joseph is an 83. Defensively, this team has a 99 overall safety and a 91 X-Factor corner. Okay, wait. This team should cook. Let's take a look here. Pat Delmont, dude. Pat and Jonah Delmas. This is the duo. 94 overall, though. Pat McAfee started to regress a little bit. We're getting towards the end of his career, but he is still racking up numbers, which I love to see because he might get onto the top 25 list for punt yards. Wow. And I had to say something about still rocking with Shane Steichen. He has been fired as Colts head coach. So they didn't make the playoffs, man. Pat's just not going to get that Super Bowl. I'm not taking over as Zach Vance. Come on. Who do you think I am? We're going to take over, and it's probably going to create Chris Dale here again. I'm going to click Team Builder. I'm ready. Chris Dale. There he is. Chris Dale's back. The team went 6-11, 15th rated offense, 29th rated defense. How is this defense bad? Zach Vance is shit. He threw 3,400 yards, 24 touchdowns, and 10 picks. Punting, Pat probably punted 52 times for 2,737 yards. He had another one blocked. 7 inside the 20, 14 touchbacks, a 74-yard long. Man, I think he just wants a ring at this point, and everybody just keeps letting him down. 763 total punts, 40,510 total punt yards, 2 block kicks, now 169 kicks inside the 20, 225 touchbacks, 77-yard long. With 169 inside the 20, I think it's the right time to retire, Pat. What you think, buddy? You done? You coming back to Indy? You maybe you going to the Chiefs so we can get all of the C's out of the way? And he's still here. Pat is rocking in Indy. Okay, he's a 92 overall, and this team is still about the same other than they drafted a tight end who's playing fullback. Let's see what Chris Dale can do for this team as we're in, year 17 of Pat McAfee or something? He's going to make it to his real-life age before he retires. He's 39 in real life. We're in the playoffs. We made it. Yeah, okay. 15th rated offense, 10th rated total defense. That's probably what did it. This defense, like I said, they were stacked last season. Definitely wasn't Zach Vance with 3,100 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 10 picks. Pat still punted 54 times for almost 2,900 yards, 18 inside the 20, 16 touchbacks, a 74-yard long. We'll take another look at his career stats. If he plays one more season, he'll actually be on the all-time yards list with 817 punts, 43,399 total punt yards. He's got 2 block kicks, 187 inside the 20, 241 touchbacks, and a 77-yard long. So we already got to see him kick once. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to sim past the wild card round here because it's the Jets. They have to beat the Jets, right? I was right. Oh, God, no, this is not good. The Chiefs. They're 15-2. I don't know if that means good old Patty Mahomes is still here, but let's see what happens. In a tie game, under 2 minutes to go, McAfee is out here to kick. He doesn't have his number 1. It looks like he's wearing number 13, I think. And there's the boot. Where does he place it? Where is it? Inside the 15? Oh, but he's going to return it to outside the 20. And a great juke. And a stiff arm. Jesus. It's not Patrick Mahomes. It's someone named Costello, and he's probably about to cook us, huh? And we just lose 2 yards like that, and now we're punting again. Let's see what Pat can do. 6th punt of the day for McAfee. That kick is up. It's looking like it's going pretty deep. There we go. Almost down to mid at the 10, and they're going to get him down inside the 20. Now they got 52 seconds and 2 timeouts for Costello to try and score. And wow. Okay, they're just letting him go right. Yep, that's going to do it. The game's over. They're going home in the divisional round. The defense arms folded. Zach Costello threw 263 and 2 touchdowns for the Chiefs. Zach Vance is terrible. And Pat's back, man. He's a 90 overall. He's still here. We're going into year 17 now. He's almost 40 years old. He's here on a 1-year deal worth 30 million for a punter. 3.78 million. The quarterback, we lost our Vance. He wasn't doing great anyway. We'll simulate through this season to the playoffs. See what happens. Pat should get onto that list this season. They're back in the playoffs at 8-9. They barely snuck their way in, but they're here. Let's take a look. Being 8-9, Pat had to have punted a good amount, right? Josh Middleton is the new quarterback. 3,100 yards, 15 touchdowns. Man, what are you doing? Pat punted 59 times for 3,000 yards, 17 inside the 20, 18 touchbacks. That's gonna put him on the all-time list. Oh yeah, 876 punts, 46,000 yards. With those numbers, he's actually 18th all-time on this list. He passes players like Kevin Huber, Ray Guy, and those are really the only two names on here. Actually, he passes Brett Kern too, barely, but he passes Brett Kern. He also does that in like 150 to 200 less attempts than the rest of them, so like that's pretty impressive. And Brett Kern is still playing. Perks of the fact that most of these guys average 40 to 45 yard punts, he averages 50. But let's sim pass his wildcard game, see what happens, see if they keep winning. And they don't. Of course they don't. So now we advance week to the next season, and we're going to see if Pat comes back for a 17th season. He's back. How old are you now? 40 years old, year 18. Pat McAfee does come back to Indianapolis. He found a home, man. He loves it here. He is now above his real life age, where he is currently 39 years of age in real life. He's now 40 in the sim. He is an 88 overall. He's lost his X Factor finally. He's down to just star dev. He is still probably one of the better punters in the league. They went 10-7 and are once again back in the playoffs, winning the division. They're playing the Raiders, who went 13-4 in the first round. We'll take a look. The offense actually didn't do too bad. They did better than the defense this season. Take a look, and Jerry Richter, the new quarterback, threw 3,700 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 5 picks, doing a little better than the past guys have. Pat still had to punt 56 times for 2,930 yards, a 49-yard average, 18 inside the 20, and 13 touchbacks, a 70-yard long. His leg is starting to decline just a little bit. He is getting up there. He's 40 years old now. And now with 49,356 yards, a 53-yard average, 2 blocks, 222 kicks inside the 20, 272 touchbacks, that moves him all the way up to 12th all time. If he plays one more season, he'll be able to move into the top 10, but for right now, he is in 12th. He is 12th all time, by the way, and hasn't even hit 1,000 punts. Everybody above him has 1,200 plus. And there is no Pat McAfee here in Indy going into year 19. Let's go take a look at our retirement, see if we finally lost this man. It doesn't look like it. I don't see a Colts logo anywhere in here, so he left. He went somewhere else in year 19. I'm really hoping this says, oh, we went to Buffalo. I was hoping it said the Chiefs. He's now number 0 in year 19 in Buffalo. He's 41 years old, but he's still going with it. He wants to get to number 1. I don't know if he's going to, though. No, he's not. Number 1 is 71,000 yards. He's got a long way to go to get there. We now take over as Marlon Burgess, the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. We're in year 19 of Pat McAfee, which could potentially be one of his last. We'll take a look at his overall. Here is Pat. He is down to an 84 overall. We can take a look here. As you can see, a 41-year-old punter. Contracts, I'm imagining it's a 1-year deal. It is, okay, hold on. 2 Pro Bowl appearances, though. That's pretty good. It is a 1-year deal worth $2 million. Pat has racked up a bag playing 19 years in the NFL. This team honestly isn't great. Their highest offensive player is an 85 tight end. Defensively, they aren't looking the best, but they're at least an average defense, I'd say. Gardens is probably their all-star on this team. We'll see what the Bills can do for him. They went 5-12 and missed the playoffs. They had the second worst rated offense in the league, meaning Pat probably had to punt quite a bit. Pat ended up punting 63 times, which I think is a career high for 3,300 yards, a 52.5-yard average, 17 inside the 20, 13 touchbacks, a 73-yard long at 41 years of age. He should now be over 50,000 punt yards all time, and that should move him into the top 10. 995 career punts, 52,663 career yards, basically a 53-yard average, 239 kicks inside the 20, and 285 touchbacks. With those numbers, he now moves up into 8th all-time behind Sam Cock, Dustin Colquitt, Brad Maynard, who I don't know who that one is, Sean Landetta, Andy Lee, Shane Leckler, and Jeff Fiegels. So he does end up cracking the top 10 in his career, and we will now simulate towards year 20, where I don't know if we will get another season out of Pat McAfee. McAfee here. And Pat is no longer here in Buffalo. We'll go take a look at the retirements. As like I said, we are going into year 20, so he is at that point where it's okay to walk away. I see no Bills logo here, man. He's coming back for year 20. He's going to be 42 years old, and we're rocking with another season. Pat McAfee is now the starting punter of the New England Patriots. He is an 80 overall. He's 42 years of age. He's the oldest punter by like 10 years in the league right now. Yeah, their highest rated offensive player is an 84. They have two of them with Lippett at receiver and Mackey at tight end. Defensively, they do have an 86 with an X factor, but that is the highest rated player on this team as a whole. Pat is now down to an 80. He's at normal dev. He is 42 years old going into year 20. We'll take a look. He's probably on a one-year contract is my guess, and he is. It's worth $1.94 million. And just like that, we'll simulate through year 20 of Pat McAfee. I don't know if this man in real life would have ever considered playing 20 seasons. They're in the playoffs in year 20. They went 9-8, second in the division behind the Dolphins, who also went 9-8. We'll go take a look here at how Pat did, see where he's at in the all-time list, because this season should have moved him up a couple more spots. 66 punts for 3,342 yards, 50.6 average, 11 inside the 20, 17 touchbacks, a 72-yard long, and he should now be in the top 5, I think. Pat McAfee now has 1,061 punts for 56,005 yards. He has 250 inside the 20, 302 touchbacks, and basically a 53-yard average. With this season, he actually falls just short of 5th. He is 16 yards behind Brad Maynard, and he is 6th all-time in punt yards. We will sim past this wild card game. We'll see if New England can beat Cleveland and move on to the divisional round, and they don't, as Lamont Booker gets a contract extension. We'll sim on to year 21. As we take a look here, Pat McAfee is no longer the punter for the New England Patriots. We'll go take a look at the retirement list again, where he potentially could be coming back for year 21 at 43 years old. And he's not on the retirement list. If he's a free agent, we're obviously going to continue to sim. I think he's at that age where people might consider not signing him. Here, we'll actually just filter it by age. Pat McAfee is now the starting punter of the Denver Broncos at a 76 overall. He's racking up the teams he's playing for. We take over as Kelly Stevens, head coach of the Denver Broncos. As Pat, I think, what is this, his 8th or 9th team he's been on? Okay, this team actually seems pretty good. Hold up. This might be the team that does it. This team might do it for a 43-year-old Pat McAfee. Let's take a look here. We'll go all the way back to the beginning and see how many teams he's played for. So there's Washington, which is where he started. Then he goes to Dallas. That's 3 teams, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is his 8th team that he's been on in his career. They are in the playoffs here. You can see 10-7. They were second in the division behind the Chiefs. We'll go take a look at how Pat did this season. Our 43-year-old punter that is still rocking. He had to punt 58 times. They're really working this old man to death. 2,781 yards, 8 kicks inside the 27 touchbacks. A 70-yard long at 43 is one of the most impressive things I think I've ever seen. He now has 1,119 career punts for 58,786 yards with 2 blocks, 258 kicks inside the 20, and 309 touchbacks. With those numbers, he does now move up to 5th all-time. He is still 2,000 yards behind the guy in front of him, so if he doesn't play another season, that is where this will end for him. We'll sim on to the divisional round, see if this Denver team can get it done. They honestly have the setup to do it, and they don't do it anyway. They had a good enough team to do it, but they can't do it. As we sim to next season, and we see if Pat McAfee calls it a career after 21 seasons, or if he's coming back for a 22nd. And there it is. After 21 years in the NFL, punter Pat McAfee calls it a career as a Denver Bronco. I can't believe how long he played. I'm here for it because he's top 5 all-time in punt yards now, but we'll take a look at legacy score and stuff, as I'm sure he doesn't show up in there. They never seem to. And I was right. He definitely should be on here somewhere, and he's nowhere to be found on this list. So, 21 years of Pat McAfee, 56,000 career punt yards is pretty impressive. But guys, with him retiring, as I always say, that is going to be it for the video. And if you guys did enjoy, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. That is always up to you guys. I don't know what I'm going to do to force you to do it anyway, that I always say that, but hey, I say it. Thank you guys so much for watching, though. It has been fun. I will talk to you all in the next one. With that out of the way, peace out, guys.